All right, folks, here we are, episode 6 of Allergic to Silverware with my man in Dubai, Mr. Mark Farker. Mark, how you doing?
Good, Cowan. How's yourself? Well done on your new contract, Glentoran. I'm getting fed up starting these and pros talking about you all the time, hey, but we'll not stay too long on that. Just congrats on the contract, well deserved.
Cheers, man. Cheers. It's been a great couple of weeks up there, and look, I suppose the pressure's on now to try and maintain that level and to try and bring a bit more success to the club. But look, that'll be a while away yet. We have we'll just remind you, we have the Europa League qualifier on Thursday, in case you forgot.
On TV?
I don't know. I don't think so, actually. Maybe in the Faroes. Maybe they might be straight. Maybe on the.
It'll be on the national broadcaster in the Faroes.
Probably the RTE of the Faroes. I'm sure they might have something over there. But no, not as far as I know. It wouldn't be. I don't think it'd be that big of a pull for us. But no, look, it's good to be involved in it. And
good draw for you as well.
Winnable, aye. But I was just looking at their last game there. They played. I'm not sure the team, whatever team in their league, their home league, and I think there's 10 teams in the league. They played at home against the team that was in 9th position, and they beat them 11-0. So there's obviously they're obviously not shy of scoring a few goals, and it's going to be a tough game. But look, we'll just have to sort of give it a go, see how we get on. So this week, folks, we're going to maybe touch a bit on the current Finn Harps manager, Mr. Ollie Horgan. Great character, I think you'll agree. A lot of mannerisms and a lot of attributes that he's brought to the game that we can sort of pick up on and use to sort of explain our story. So as we'll just focus on Ollie first of all. Your first introduction or run-in or I don't know conversation, we'll say. With Ollie. Where did that come to pass?
Well, I suppose my first interaction with Ollie was probably indicative of how things were going to pan out between me and him up at Finn Harps. So look, obviously Ollie's had great success up at Harps. I think he's the second longest serving manager, I think, in the League Ireland currently. So
I think he's actually Chief. I think he's actually he's the longest now.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
I think. I thought it was John Caulfield. When John Caulfield,
maybe he is. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean,
so he's the main man in the League of Ireland now, you could say.
Aye, and he's a huge character in the League of Ireland, and I think a lot of the opposition fans enjoy the way he conducts himself and that. So I suppose I signed for Harps in 2008. They got relegated. I left after Ollie's first season in 2014, and by the end of 2015, he's got promoted. So he knew what was required to get Harps out of the first division, and I wasn't part of the plans. But anyway, I met him in December time. We went back to pre-season, so it was to sign or whatever. And Ollie a lot better than me. I worked under him from the January until the July. You worked with him for 6 years, but he's not the easiest man in the world to chat to in terms of chit chat. You know, he's not for small talk, and I'd be a big man for small talk. So there was a wee bit of a personality.
Is that what you call it? Small talk.
Small talk guy. Other people will call it shade, but I would call it small chat. So you know yourself. So I was working with Donegal Daily, and I was out in the co-lab in Letterkenny. So Ollie came and met me, and that was grand. And as I say, a very, very small bit of chit chat, and then straight into it. So just bang straight away. He goes, "Look, Mark. We'll get down to it here." He says, "I watched a lot of Finn Harps last season. I watched a lot of your games, and Mark, to be honest, there's absolutely no doubt your ability, great technical ability, no doubt about it. And there were some games you played now last year. You were brilliant. You were absolutely brilliant. But Mark, I'm going to be honest with you now, and I'm going to be quite frank. There were some games you played in last year, Mark, that I watched, and you were atrocious. And I mean atrocious." And lad, I'm not having it. Like I can't believe he's used the word atrocious. Like no one's ever used that word in conversation with me and my life. So I know where he was going. I'm thinking, but I couldn't believe he took me back when he said atrocious. And I'm in my head thinking, I wasn't that fucking bad. Like there might have been a few games where I was off. Yeah. Like atrocious.
Atrocious, yeah.
It's a very bad term to use. Like, and he said it twice. He goes, atrocious. Absolutely atrocious, right? So I put it down a wee bit, and I'm kind of in my head thinking it wasn't that bad or whatever. But anyway, he comes back around to me, and he says, but look, to counter that, Mark, as I said, you've got great ability. But I'll be honest with you now, again, you having 2 good games and following them up with 2 shite games, not worth the fuck to me, lad. Not worth the fuck.
But I suppose, the way, I'm sure Ollie's had that conversation, if we gauge it out, 16 to 20 times each season, every season. Yeah. Everybody that he talks to, I can't imagine him going into any negotiations, obviously, because I've been in those negotiations as well. And it's just not a case of, look, there it is, Keith, you're signing, how much do you want, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a case of, well, I remember down in Salt Hill.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah. He wasn't coming in wanting to be your best mate. He was coming in and
absolutely not.
They said he didn't want to focus too much on some of the games I played well in the season before. It was you were atrocious. Absolutely.
Yeah. He has the diary. That he carries everywhere.
No,
and he leaps back through that. He leaps back through that there, and he'll pick out the games that you mightn't have played that well. He'll say. So he'll basically go through all those games, all those points, and then he'll say, but here, I'll still sign you. I'll still do you a favour and sign you,
Yeah, that's probably a good way of putting it. He was almost I felt from the conversation that he was doing me a favour. Like, I'll give you another crack at it, but this is all we can offer you, and blah, blah, blah. But look, as I said, he was a good, great character, and straight off the bat you could see it, because he started asking me then about yourself and different boys. He was kind of going, look, you've been up there now 5 or 6 years, what kind of characters Big Count, what kind of characters Packy Millie, so he was asking about you boys, and I was like, yeah, good lads and all that. And then funny one, how much he loved Damien McNulty, and he asked about what about McNulty, Fox, what about McNulty? And I was like, I was like, quality player, good defender. And out of nowhere, he goes, he's an N. And I was like, sorry? I was kind of said, sorry? He goes, he's an N. He's a man. And I was like, didn't really know what to say. I'm just like, he's a man, and just nodding away, and the wee book, he's a man. He's a man. And
confirmation.
Yeah, a confirmation. He's a man, but so he obviously watched Harps the season before, and he seen what he liked with McNulty, and then what he was thinking, not too sure about you, Fox. Not too sure.
The problem with you, Fox, the problem with you, and probably Ollie's problem with you, is you were probably too happy. You were probably a guy that playing football with a smile on his face, and that wasn't going to wash for Ollie. He wanted 11 lads that were pissed off, angry. And I think that's why. I suppose the compliments were maybe few and far between. It was a case of keep the lads oppressed, and then they'll come fighting back at me.
And I mean, you've obviously played under for 6 years, and you were a top player for him. And I'd say you can count in one hand how many times he told you you were brilliant.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was just that was him. That was him. And he actually said to me on one occasion, he was like, I can't remember the actual the game or the thing, but it does stand out in the mind that I was like, I tried to have a frank conversation with him, which was quite difficult.
He likes them. He likes the frank ones.
Does, he'd be jumping about in the seat and he'd be what? So it was kind of a case. I'm going to try and level with you here. I was like, we win and we do well, and basically you come back into the changing room and it's, that'll be no good next week, lads. That'll be no good when you're going to your Bohemians and your Dundalks, and that's not going to wash. No way. Enjoy this now. But no, next week, no good. Not worth the fuck. That would have been the way that he would try and solve it.
Yeah.
Sold it to us. And I was like, you need to. I was like, not everybody is the same. He's like, you're going to go around the changing room and you're going to meet different personalities and different lads that, some will need the pat in the back and some will need the arm around the shoulder. And, as I mentioned before, the wee phone call in the week to say you're flying. Me probably, you probably got a better reaction from me if you maybe put me down, because I would be a bit angry, come back and all right, I know that. An angry Keith Cowan, that's what I want. That's what I want. So he knew how to play me.
What you talked about there about maybe he thought I was too much of a joker or whatever. I remember actually saying before we ended the conversation, and I don't know if he did the same with you or anything like that, but he was kind of saying, look, lad, I'm not going to be your friend up here. And I don't mean that in a bad way. And I don't know if he thought I was going to look. I had a reputation for befriending managers. I'm not. Yeah. He says, if you come up the train and you say hello and that, I'll say hello back to you, but that'll be about it. I was just like, this is a bit bizarre, but okay. Like, I was like, grand.
Chief, it wouldn't be rare. It wouldn't be rare now for you to find you in the central of Ireland on the odd Sunday evening, you and McConaughey having a few pints.
That's different. That's different. Hey, you're dropping down the grade there. Hey, it's a bit of a closer unit. Hey.
I'd drop that one in there.
You had to get that wee dig in, didn't you?
I remember going in to watch a bit of football on a Sunday, and I remember looking across the other side of the centre and seeing Chief and McConaughey. I said, "What's going on there? This is ridiculous." Sure, I thought they were playing 2:00 or something like that. Here's now 8:30 or something, and there's Chief sitting. There's Chief sitting with McConaughey. See, surely they've had the pints and all. That's all gone.
No, me and McConaughey, full day session. Would you not go for a few pints with Ollie now on a Sunday after a match?
He'd be gone to Galway. You'd never catch him.
Colin, where the fuck are you, lad? I'm in the cottage since 1:00. Where are you? For fuck's sake.
Oh, man.
Brilliant. But I obviously don't have a lot on Ollie, obviously, as I say, but just the other one about him as well, he was an absolute magpie. Do you remember for stealing gear? Like, I remember I couldn't find me training shorts, right? Could not find them. And I think it was James Gallo said, I guarantee Ollie has them. You'll see, he'll be training one day with them on.
Yeah.
Because there were squad numbers as well, I think, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he came in the training, he's talking, and I'm kind of looking and I'm kind of laughing. I'm going, they're nice shorts. He's like, I was like, they're nice shorts. And then he kind of half twigged. He goes, oh, they're your shorts there? I was like, aye, they're number 14, they're my shorts. No, man. I'll give them to you after. No, I'll give them to you.
See, Kieran Gallagher bought a new pair of trainers for me then, right? And he's left them behind him at training one day. And the kind of text went around the group, oh, lads, anybody see my trainers, blah, blah. I said, no, I didn't see them, sorry, lads, right? That was great. We've come into training. And the next day, and we've had the wee meeting or whatever beforehand, and then right in the pitch, and Gal pulls me, Kieran, he goes, hey, Ollie's wearing my trainers. I was like, what? He's like, Ollie's wearing my trainers. I was like, no, they must be. I'm sure like there's more than one pair, and I wouldn't wear your shoes. Like, so we that's great. We go in after training, and Ollie goes into the change rooms, and Gal goes, Ollie, did you get them new, or are they mine? And he's like, oh, sorry, lad, sorry. I just saw them lying there. I didn't know who owned them. I just threw them on me. Pops them off casually. Hi, lad, sorry. And walks out and jumps in the car in the bare feet. I remember a story, it's actually Pat McCann told me this story. Maybe I should leave this one for Pat, but now I'm going to tell it anyway because we're on the topic of Ollie and clothes and stuff like that there. So it's the year that we got to the semi-final, I think, of the FAI Cup. And I'm not sure if it's the quarter-final or the semi-final or what, but it's the managers and a player are called up to Dublin to do like a promo or whatever, like a media day with the cup and like that. So Pat gets the text or the phone call from Ollie, and Ollie's going to pick him up and drive up. So Pat has to come tracksuit just and ready to go. So Ollie's come in his usual attire, maybe a fan of Gale's hoodie, maybe Finn Harp shorts and some other random socks and his trainers or whatever. So Pat's kind of looking at him thinking, surely this is not the get up for the media day, So they get there and they're in the car park and they're about to go in and Pat sort of sees, a couple of the other players and managers going in, and just players are wearing, the usual tracksuit and polo shirt or whatever. Managers are all going in suits, and he sort of looks across at Ollie's attire again, thinking, surely not. Surely he's not going in like this. So Pat just jumps out of the car, and he says he just sort of goes to walk in, and hold on a minute, lad, hold on a minute. And he goes into the back seat, and he's got just like a sports bag, a gear bag, reaches into the sports bag, and pulls out of the sports bag an pair of black trousers rolled up in a ball and a shirt. Just he said they're just like they're like tinfoil. They're that creased. And he says he just whips off the hoodie, and buttons up the shirt, pulls the trousers over his football shorts, and just he's out pair of black shoes, out pair of school shoes, out pair of black shoes, and just slides them on with his football socks on. Right, let's go in here now.
You know what? You gotta love that too, where he does not give a fuck. Like,
doesn't give one hoot about what anybody thinks out there. He says, "They said dress up. This is dress up for me." You know. Like, I remember coming back from we had an excursion, a ski trip away from school.
Yeah.
And I remember coming back and flying back in on the Tuesday, and I was, in constant contact with them over the weekend, was doing my wee bits and pieces while I was over there.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's lucky enough to be a gym in the hotel we were staying in, so I was doing my bits there. And then coming back.
Would that have been a bit of a bone of contention with Ollie, that you'd be missing a week of pre-season? From my memory, I think it was in the first season I was up there. I know, was it?
I'm not sure if it was actually the missing the pre-season mightn't have been a big deal. Obviously, look, to him, he would have rather I would have been there, absolutely. And obviously myself, I'd have rather been there. But when it's your work, and when it's you sort of have to be given some allowances, I feel. So, but then what happened then later on was the season started earlier.
Okay.
And then when we would have had that trip every year, it would have been getting closer and closer. So in the first couple of years, I was maybe having 2 weeks when I came back, so it wasn't really a big deal.
Yeah.
And then it was getting closer where it was a week, and then it was actually the last season I missed the first game because of it.
Oh, really?
But yeah, which obviously didn't go down too well. But we'll maybe come back to that another time. But I remember him. I said I was going to be back in Dublin. We flew back into Dublin maybe 4 o'clock, and after traveling, like I think we left maybe the resort maybe about 10 a.m. that morning, and so we flew back into Dublin. He's up to arrivals and collected me in the car. So to drive me.
A match that night.
We had a match that night in Glengad against Glengad, who are a very good junior team, to be fair.
Oh, they're an excellent junior team. Excellent. You're thinking you're going to get a pass for this game, surely.
Well, I'm thinking, do I need to, after traveling all day against all kind of scientific advice, and if you speak to professionals, they know you're going to be overly dehydrated. You're sitting for long periods of time, that type of thing, and then Glengad,
and then driving for 3.5 hours to Glengad.
That's probably 5.5 hours to Glengad.
Probably is.
That's a wee bit further, but to get there and then to play a match, I'm thinking, do I really need to do this? I'm not 21. I'm not. I'm not I'm not a younger lad. I have had injuries and stuff like that. Do I need to do this here? And I remember it was a freezing cold night. It was really, I remember it was a night for the gloves, if you wore gloves. Now, obviously I wouldn't wear the gloves myself. You'd have been a man for the gloves, Forks. Definitely. Yourself and Funsty donned the gloves after, I remember.
We couldn't grow the hair long enough for a ponytail, so we had to go with the gloves for a wee bit of style. But hey, so he's picked you up at the airport at 4 o'clock to take you to a game at Glengad at 8 o'clock kickoff or something, is it?
8 o'clock kickoff, yeah. So I remember like in the car, and I remember a couple of the lads that were on the trip. Well, actually, I think it was the principal was there, and obviously a couple of the younger lads from the school. And they collected my bags and everything at arrivals. Like I didn't have time to collect the bag. He's like, I'm outside, and I was like, look, I'm just going to shoot straight through and just jump in the car and away we go. So Ollie's there. The car's parked outside. I just come run out of arrivals and jump in the car, and he's like, "Hi, lads, good flight." And I was like, "Aye, good, grand." I'm still thinking, we're actually doing this.
You must be raging inside, that you're fucking heading to Glengad.
I don't know what to think, to be quite honest. I'm sort of thinking, look, I do want to get back now and get into it and get ready for the games that are coming up, and it's going to be difficult and blah blah. But yeah, a lot of me is really they really need to be coming down here. I would have rather almost go down there and know that I was going to be training. A training session on my own and sort of, you were going to sort of get eased into it, but you threw into a match, and at any level, like a match is a match,
and they're a very good side too, like
very good junior side who are wanting to have to prove a point. They're they're going to be sharp. They're going to be thinking. A few of the younger lads will be thinking, if I catch the manager's eye here, this is going to be great for me. Might get a move. Why not? So so that was fine. In the car down the road, and he's like, are you hungry, lad? Are you hungry? I was like, he's like, there's scones in the back. Scones in the back, and there's a couple of things to look at there if you want them as well.
Are the scones are they all crumpled up as well? Are they?
I never looked. I was like, no, a scone. I think I'm alright for a scone, Ali, to be fair. I think there was Lucozade there, though. I think I had a couple of bottles of Lucozade. Alright, Lucozade sport there. But again, he was, conducting business on the way, we'll say. Not doing criminal. He was conducting business all the way.
Oh, right. Yeah. Hands free, I'm sure.
I'm not here. So we were down the road anyway, and we were making good time. All right, I'm gonna put it like that. We were making good time, but there was a couple of occasions where you like, he was on this side, obviously on the driver's side, and I could see cars turning left here, all brake lights on, and we were still going, that time away. So I was like, Jesus, fucking, you're sort of standing on the floor, you're holding on to the Jesus Christ handle here, all
I just have a few scares going up the road.
Couple of scares. Well, I don't know about Ollie. Ollie didn't see them.
Calm down, big fella. Calm down. Control that.
Yeah, Jesus, Colin's awful agitated. I don't think he wants to play tonight.
I don't think he likes flying. I don't think he's a good flyer.
So we got the whole way. To Glengad. Like, I'm sure he knew where he was going. I've never been down to the pitch down there, but I think there was like a diversion as well, quite close to where the ground might have been, and we ended up just looking up for floodlights, and we came round like the last corner, and it was like a really sharp turn, and he's gone round the corner on the wrong side of the road, like. And there's a car coming, so we've got the whole way, and I was kind of laughing at telling the boys we've got the whole way to Glengad, almost had an accident, 100 yards, corner, 100 yards from the ground, like so. But look, we got there, and it was.
Did you start? Did you start the game?
The game had started before I got there, so the game was like 5 minutes old, and so I'm not sure they played. They put one of the young lads in. I'm not sure who it was, and they were like, go and do a warm up. So I've gone over and at this stage I'm not entirely happy because I've been sent to do a warm up.
You've nearly been killed 3 times coming up the road. You've only been offered scones, and your head's not on it, big guy, is it?
My head's not really at this stage because it's actually this is real now. This has become real. I'm in Glengad. It's freezing cold. The match has already started, and I'm over now on one of the wee side pitches doing a bit of a warm up. So I've taken maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, give myself as much of a warm up as I could, as I could muster up the enthusiasm to do.
Come on,
and then
did you?
Huh?
Come on, then at half time.
No, not even. I went over, and again, the game's probably about half an hour in, and whoever started just has come off, and I've gone on.
What's he hooked some young lad?
So he hooked the young lad that had started, and just threw me in. Now the game's going, and the game's at some pace, So it's like, and they have a lot of the ball, obviously, because it's a pre-season game. It's a mixed side that we have out.
Probably a lot of trade lists and what.
Yeah, and I know a lot of young lads think they got there. So it's a fairly even game, and they have a lot of the play. And they had a couple of decent players.
Yeah.
And I remember, yourself when you're just thrown into a game like that. I don't think I've had a touch of a ball.
Yeah.
Even in the warm up, it was a warm up, just running and stretching. And you're through in, and then you're sort of blowing after the first 10 minutes, and I think at one stage I came out, maybe the guys kind of gone down the line, and I've come out and I've slipped, on a, which is now turned into kind of a frozen pitch, by the way. Yeah, so
it's up on a mountain, Glengad, isn't it? It's up past Malin-Head, Glengad. That's Siberia, basically.
That's Siberia. I should have brought the skis with me, maybe.
You should have done the skiing trip in Glengad. Kill two birds with one stone.
But I remember slipping on something like that there. And I remember Higgsy having a wee bite there. That man's all the shit.
That's the last thing you want to be hearing.
Oh, that's just, I know. I was just like, you know what, grand, dead on. Well, that's not what I was thinking, but that's what I'm going to say here. So, but I remember then, I remember that one of the balls dropping and I stepped out and I had a nice pass out to the left side and kind of got me settled then. It was grand, like you were back into the flow of things. But I always had I don't know if we call it a reputation, but I was never a man for friendlies. Those pre-season games, I would always been slow to start, and maybe that's one of the reasons Ollie, got me in. He says because come the pre-season games, he's never usually at himself. So
you're not angry enough. You're not angry.
That's it. No.
You just say, I need an angry Keith Count. Maybe that's why he went the whole way to Dublin. You'd be pissed off and annoyed that you're being taken to Glengarry. He's thinking, I'll get one performance out of Count tonight. But he'll be like,
rubbing his hands in. Can't be raging.
Fast and the Furious coming up.
That's it. So, Chief, we touched on the Jobby squad, the introduction to the Jobby squad. Maybe you'd like to shed a wee bit of light on that group of players, maybe, or how it came about.
Yeah, well, I suppose the Jobby squad. What the Jobby squad was it was sort of a group of about 7 or 8 players, and we were in this vacuum where we weren't in the first 11, and we were always sort of on the bench and maybe getting on the odd day or whatever. But there'd be that 11 didn't really change much, and then there was the likes of Gareth Harkin, me, Tommy Boner, Jimmy Dock, Johnny Boner, Paul McVeigh, Graham Fisher.
Yeah,
Harold Tyofak, he came to the Jobbies after a while. after playing for 2 months, he rightfully placed in the Jobby squad, I might add. And I think Sean Patton as well, but he was only a young lad. But we kind of called ourselves the Jobby squad because I'll tell you what, the Jobby squad, it was like being full time. Because say for example, right, you're playing the first night, right? And actually, for a period, I was a full-time footballer at Finn Harps because the reserves were in the Ulster Senior League, right?
Yeah.
And 3 players from the first team squad were allowed to play in the reserves.
Yeah.
So what used to happen was you'd be in the bus coming back from fucking Cove or somewhere like that, and Ollie would go, you'd see Ollie get up, he'd be talking to James at the front, and you'd see Ollie standing up, and he's coming down. And he could pick 3, I think it was, out of that 7 or 8 players that I named. Yeah. And I see him coming, and you're pretending you're asleep. You're like, oh, hope the fuck. Your head up against the window. And I swear, it might sound terrible. I'm fucking praying he doesn't come near me on the shoulder. And everyone else is thinking the same. And then you kind of half open your eye, and you see he's talking to Fisher. And you're like, right, one down. And then close your eyes again, and then you kind of open it again. Then you might see him, he's Tyofak. Oh, right, 2. So then you're thinking, right, 1 from 6 now. And don't be the 1 from 6. And then I remember the night of Cove, I think it might have been Johnny Boner got the pull. And then you're just celebrating. But it used to be mad, lad, because what used to happen if you're in the Jobby squad? Remember, like, say you play at home on a Friday night. Sometimes you come in for recovery on a Saturday. We'd come in, you guys would do a recovery, we'd do a wee bit more. And then at times, then I could be one of the 3 pulled for the game on the Sunday. So then I'm in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the first team's back in training normal on a Monday. And I'm not getting the day off because I played for the reserves on the Sunday. I'm on Monday. And I remember Mairead going, you're not even playing, and you're in it. I'm like, full-time football at Harpside. But no, so we nicknamed ourselves the Jobby squad. Part of 2... James Gall and Ollie obviously didn't really like it, but we were just trying to make fun of the situation. This group of players that were kind of in with the first team but not really playing much, and then obviously I got my opportunity. I came back looking like Ricky Hatton in pre-season, so done myself no favours. So I was miles off. It deserved to be out of the team. So, but I started working hard and training properly and playing a bit of reserves and doing the things properly because I knew I'd get an opportunity at some stage. So we're down in Waterford and didn't have a clue I was starting because you know the way Ollie is. He's meticulous in terms of his preparation, does a lot of shape. And the shape on the Wednesday night I wasn't involved in, right? So I think someone might have got injured or something, or somebody maybe got sick before the game on Friday, but I still wasn't aware of this. And me and Mickey Funsty used to have a bit of a ritual as well. After we get the pre-match, we'd sneak off somewhere to get a cup of tea and a few chocolate biscuits. And you know, Funsty loved his chocolate, like, and unlike me, he could get away with eating chocolate because if you've seen Funsty with his top off, it looks like 3 days left to live. Like he's skinning both. And but I'm there thinking another night in the bench, I'll double up on the Snickers.
Yeah.
So,
it'll be cold down here in Waterford.
We're down in the cafe and me and Funsty having a wee cup of tea and a wee biscuit. We're having the crack and all that. So we go back up. You know yourself, got to be back up in the hotel for 5 o'clock, 5:15 for the team meeting, names the team, go through everything. So I'm sitting there not expecting this, and Flipchart comes over, and I'm in the middle of the park, and I'm thinking, jeez, I'm full of Snickers, like. But like, I was like, all right, here tonight's the night, fucking no room for excuses now. I've got to take it. So to be fair, again, Ollie, you know, he's not one for praise, but straight away it's like, look, lad, no bother to you. You have more ability than anyone in this dressing room. You've been waiting 8 weeks for your chance. Got in there and do the business, right? So, anyway, cut the long story short, half time, we're 1-0 down. He comes in, praises me, slaughters everybody else, and again, he's not a man for praise. He said, the only man playing well is Mark Farker. Hasn't played for 2 months. Driving us on, having a great game. Anyway, end of the game, we lose 2-0. He comes in and says again, singles me out and singles Skinny out. He said Skinny done okay as well. They're the only 2 players with pass.
Skinny probably broke somebody's leg, and that was good enough.
Skinny broke up on his neck and killed a fan. So he was
mighty.
Mighty. You're a man. So he was delighted with Skinny because he obviously probably assaulted somebody. But anyway, I'm thinking, right, Con, you know yourself, football, it's a selfish game. You're obviously, I'm disappointed we've lost the match. From a personal point of view, I'm thinking, that probably could have gone much better for me. He came in at half time praising me and at the end of the match, and I know I've done well. So I'm thinking, I'm on the team next week, like, and we're playing Shamrock overseas at home, and I'm thinking that's third and 3 points as well. So I'm thinking I do well again next week. All of a sudden I'm on the team and it's 3 games to bounce. And then the jobby
squad is no more.
I'm saying
sorry lads, I'm gone.
I'm not even speaking the jobby squad anymore. I'm hanging around with you and fucking the boys. Not anymore. I'm like, sorry lads, I'm way down the back of the bus. I chat to the boys. Like, I'm already thinking I'm removing Doc and all the jobbies from the WhatsApp group. I'm gone. So
I haven't thought that I remember like the Jobby squad, like, and I remember the like you kind of head off and do your own bit of running or whatever, and the crack always seemed unbelievable. I was like, geez, I wouldn't mind being a Jobby squad for a week or two. That
was the way we tried to sort of manage it in our heads, was to have a bit of a laugh. Would it be like, the Jobbies, come on, and it was I know who was taking us for the running, maybe it was Gal or whatever. Come on, let's get the Jobbies, come on, and we make jokes like about I'd start forgetting the Tommy. I was like, Tommy, I think me and you have to paint the cow shed tonight. Like, we used to pretend the Jobby squads were like slave labour. Like, we have to paint the cow shed, clean the toilets, all this sort of stuff. So we had a laugh with it, but
doing Ollie's garden, doing Ollie's cutting his grass and all.
Have to do Ollie's
doing a bit of weeding.
And you can imagine the way the man looks after his clothes, like creases everywhere. 3 hours ironing the man's shirt. But anyway, we had a laugh with it, and that was the way we dealt with it, like to get through it. And anyway, as I said, I'm thinking that from a personal point of view, I'm like, this is good for me. Like, I've done really well, so I'm definitely in the team next week.
Yeah.
Well, that was a mistake. So we're training Wednesday night, and I'm in a wee circle with you and all the boys. I get the shout, Mark, can I chat to you? And I'm thinking, no fucking way, like, no way, like. I'm thinking, and I'm starting the blood straight away, boy, because I know what's coming, and I can't believe it. Like, I'm genuinely fucking shocked.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't want to turn around. And I was like, for fuck's sake. So he says it again. I'm thinking, I might have heard that wrong. He says, Mark, can I chat to you? And I'm like, and I turn and I walk over them, like, and he's standing there and he goes, look, lad, I'm bringing Tommy Boner back in on Friday. And I just fucking, I lose it. Like, I proper wobbler. Like, I was like, just started going, fuck off. Like, this is a joke. Like, and I was like, Tommy Boner, a great friend of mine and a brilliant player. But that was like, I was like, Ollie, I haven't played for fucking 2 months. You told me I was a best player down there, and now you're dropping me. Like, and he goes, how long have you been that? He was shocked at my reaction. He goes,
he wouldn't like that.
He wouldn't like it, right? But I was what's funny now, looking back, is like his logic. He was like going, hold on a minute, lad. I don't know if you know the way I operate. But see what I'm dropping, boys. I just fucking do it. I don't tell any fucking man. If I'm dropping someone, I just fucking do it. But I think you've done that well. I think you done that well last week. That's why I'm letting you know that, because you deserve to know, right? So I've dismissed this and I've continued me rant, like, and then he interjects again. He goes, "Hold on, Mark. I know you're angry, right? But I don't think you're listening to me. I really don't think you're listening to me." So I took a step back and I was like, "What?" He goes, "I don't tell people when I'm dropping. I just fucking do it. I just fucking do it, lad. But I'm telling you, you done that well down in Waterford. You deserve to know." And I was like, "Right on. Thanks a million."
I get you.
I get you right that I'm not turning up at Finn Park thinking I'm playing and then you've got a ball on your hands. But like, how can you justify to me that I'm being left out of the team? I just think Tommy brings a bit more defensive solidity to it. I was like, Ollie, we're playing Shamrock Rovers B team. They're a fucking under-19 side. Like we're going to have 80% of the ball. Like, I think it's a game perfect for me. Like, and he goes, said, "I just feel like I want to bring Tommy in." And I was like, "Ollie, look, you know, I'm a big boy. Like, there's no fucking point me being here, is there?" Like, and he goes, "Lad, now how long? Don't be throwing the ties on me now. Don't be the old teacher." And I was like, "Ollie, look, I'm a big boy. Like, I'm 26. I've been here for 6 years or whatever. I've played over 100 games for Harps." I was like, "Football, I understand the game. If you don't fancy me, that's fine. But like, let me know, because like I've waited for 8 weeks. I've trained properly. You've given me an opportunity. You've told me I was brilliant, and then you're bombing me." And then he goes, "Oh, lad, you're going to play Monday night. You're going to play Monday night against Galway. You know, the League Cup." And I go, "Lad, I said, Ollie, all the jobbies are playing on Monday night." I said, "All the jobbies are playing."
Jobbies, right?
And he goes, "Lad, what's this old carry on with the jobby squad? What's this?"
So just there, what you were saying, I suppose, like when we spoke about Ollie and his preparation, and you know how meticulous he was, and you know his affection for an angry footballer. I suppose it kind of leads me to a story where we were down in Dublin, and that's why he loved Dee McNulty. That's why he loved him. Like,
he loved McNulty, and McNulty was always angry, wasn't he? Like,
the angriest man. Like, from getting on the bus to, he was just, you know, he was coming to training. I think he was always just like, he was there minutes or seconds before he needed to be there. So it was always a bit of stress, maybe getting to the ground.
Great player though, like, wasn't he?
Very good, excellent player, excellent defender, and even going forward, you know, he's really good. A really good player for Harps, and one that I wish had stayed for a lot longer, and I believe would still be playing, you know, in the Premier League of Ireland had he stayed with Harps. But obviously a different, you know, with work and things and family commitments, you know, lads move on for whatever reason. But I remember this occasion, we were playing Shamrock Rovers down in Tala on a Sunday. I think it was an early enough kickoff, like at 2 o'clock or something like that. It was a strange one, but the preparation all week was Gary Shaw, and you know the big lad played up front, the big striker,
big ginger boy,
big gingerhead lad that played up front. He played at Longford, played at Pats, but at this time he was playing for Shamrock Rovers. So a good centre forward, great in the air. So a lot of the preparation that week was on, you know, their set pieces, you know, which was maybe strange for a Shamrock Rovers side, but just from corners and things that we were working. So
he was a threat.
A big threat. So from all this work and all this talk about Gary Shaw, and I was on the bench. I think I had been suspended maybe, but I found myself on the bench anyway. And I remember Richard Brush was to the side of me, goalkeeper. It was he's a Cliftonville. Excellent at penalty saves, by the way. Excellent. Bit of a specialist in that regard. But he was beside me on this occasion.
So you're on the bench.
I'm the bench. I'm in the jobby squad this week. Me and Brush, a couple of our lads can't remember. Wally O'Connor's there, obviously, assistant manager, or was he a coach, and then Gal's there, and the whole lot. So maybe like the 3rd or 4th minute, Rovers get a corner. And you know what's coming. The ball's whipped into the box. D is picking up Gary Shaw. So as luck would have it, or unfortunately for D, ball lands at Gary Shaw's head, back of the net. Rovers are 1-0 up
after 3 minutes.
3 or 4
all he
minutes.
got on about this all week.
Oh, this was the whole preparation. So, but like the guy's 6'6" or something like that. There, you know, if he jumps, he's gonna, you know, if he jumps at all, he's gonna win most things.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Well, and Ollie's obviously raging, like, you know, as is everybody. But Ollie turns right here. He's like, "Fuck," you know. He's obviously raging at the goals. The early goal down in Tala, your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
And on a roasting hot day, on a Sunday at 2 o'clock, like it's a bad start. So Ollie turns around to the bench and he's like,
"Human, like
absolutely human." And he's like, "Who was picking up Shaw? Who's picking up Shaw?" Like that there from corner set pieces, and then we go D. And he's raging at this now because obviously D's his main man, and he's entrusted in picking up Shaw. He goes, "Who picking up Shaw?" And we're like, D. And he goes, "Who?" And like 2 others chime in, D. Who? And then like everybody almost chimes in, D. Who? Like that there. Now the whole bench has told him 3 times, and he's made us repeat it so many times as well. So we go, Damien, and he turns and he goes, "For fuck's sake, Picky!" Like that there. So he's not digging out. He's not digging out D in front of everybody because he's his main man, and he gives Packy a shout. You know, maybe Packy can see the corner. I don't know, but he's found a way of escaping from D and then giving Packy a touch. Like so.
Oh my! Did you tell Packy about this?
Hey, we did later on. Like, and Packy's like, "Oh my god!" But at a stage, like. Ollie, from all this here, from like, and Brushy goes to me, like he sound the many times that he said "who," like he sounded like a fucking owl or something. He's going ho. So
you kept saying D, and he kept going.
Yeah. So then he turned around, and me and Brushy are gone. Like so, like I'm sure the way obviously like, the Soccer Republic would do the games, they have the camera and all. So. We've almost done burst out laughing because of this "who" interaction. Like, so I'm the fucking bib over my face like this here, and Brushy's down looking for his gloves. So it's a case of we've just conceded a goal. You know, sometimes they would cut to the bench to get the reaction of the manager, and we're there laughing and boys and stitches laughing. So it wouldn't have been a good look.
So, like, what was it like in terms of, you know, I don't want to go through the whole season because we'll be here all night. So just maybe. You're in that situation where you're 1-0 down in terms of over the legs. Limerick are a top side. They were on an incredible run. I think they won like 13 games in a row or something to even get in the playoff because they were dead and buried at June or July, and they went an incredible run. So the cup final at Finn Park, basically, you know, you need to win 2-0. What's the week building up to that like? What's the team talk that night? Does much change? You know, give us an insight and suppose everyone that's watching, you know, into the preparation for what was an incredible night.
Yeah, so just before that, folks, like because of the way the league was structured, then we went through two playoffs before actually getting to play Limerick in the playoff final.
Was it two?
So we played. I think we played Drogheda first. We played Drogheda first.
We played UCD.
Because we finished 4th, right? So then we played a playoff then with 3rd.
Right.
And then the winners of that there then played 2nd in a playoff, a 2-legged playoff.
Against Drogheda.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it was 2 legs against Drogheda, 2 legs against UCD, and then 2 legs against Limerick in the final. So we actually did it the really hard way, coming up from a spot below. So like, and again, all those games were like kind of, you know, you were playing kind of say Friday Monday the whole way through. So again, almost at the time, I remember thinking this obviously doesn't suit the team trying to get up.
No, it's designed to keep the team in the Premier Division.
Yeah, and I suppose Limerick at that stage, who had an awful start to the season, you know, really tried to come good.
Oh, they were dead and buried. Like, and obviously I followed Limerick because Sean Kelly, who's a really good friend, was there, and they went in this incredible run, and they were hot favourites to do use over the time. Like, they had a great side, they had a really good team, and some of the results they were getting coming near the end of the season. Again, you could say, you know, some teams maybe
were on their holidays or whatever coming to the end of the season, a lot of games, but they needed points and they were getting them. And I think they missed out maybe by maybe a point or two of actually getting out of that playoff spot. You know, so
full time. They're full time as well. Important to note.
Full time setup. A guy, Freddie Hall, an international keeper. You had a guy, Vinny Faraday in the team. Shane Duggan, Ian Turner, Lee Lynch. They had a really, and Sean Kelly, obviously another one. Yeah. You know, they're a really, really good side.
Like a quality team. They're a quality side.
It was definitely a who's who, like, made up of, and it's in no case did they expect to be in that position at the start of the season. No. You know, but I remember they had a big lad at the back, a Congolese centre half called Patrick Kanyuka, I think his name is. Right. So played in a couple of clubs in England, maybe Charlton, Swindon, so you know, decent pedigree. But an absolute mountain of a man, you know, 6'4", 6'5". But that's where it ended. Anyway, so obviously the boys had done their homework on him, and you know, our idea was try and get him the ball.
So leave him on it.
Leave him on it, and then just when he takes a touch, then squeeze him, or when the ball's on the way, squeeze him. So that's what we did. Obviously down there.
Plan down there is to get out of there with the game still to play for.
Yes. Yeah, the tie still has to be alive when you leave Limerick. That was basically it for us. And, you know, we defended brilliantly. You know, you can say they had a lot of the ball. Of course, they did. Their top quality side, you know, full time on their home patch. They're going to have a lot of the ball. We defended, actually. Sean Kelly scored an absolute worldie. Oh, you know, he's hit one from 25, 30 yards, top corner. There's not a lot you can do about it. You know, you sort of have to hold your hands up to them. But if it's a mistake from somebody, or somebody doesn't plug a gap, or someone gets lazy and doesn't do something properly, that's when you can say, oh, well, hold on, we've got a problem here. We've shot ourselves in the foot. And you know, and this is probably the most we're actually going to talk about football and style of play. And
everyone watching this now has just gone back.
The boys have sold out.
They're trained to be pundits. Oh no.
But anyway, so we'll talk, as I say, you know, the whole thing that day. We say we're going to try and turn this into a battle. Yeah, we're going to try and rough them up. We're going to try and get them out of their comfort zone. But when we have it, we have to play, because we're not going to be able, because of the amount of games we played on the run of that there, we're not going to be able to chase on that pitch for 90 minutes plus, as it turned out. And
but Colin, just sorry to cut across you there. See, after the first leg, you've obviously went down there, defended brilliantly, Wondercool beat you. Are you thinking we've got a big chance here? Like, are you thinking they're not that good? Like, are you thinking we're definitely got a chance here? Like, I'm not saying you thought like, oh yeah, we're definitely gonna win, but you're probably you know Finn Park, you know the pitch, you know the way it's gonna be. If we can get a goal early on here, it's game on.
Well, I suppose, you know, coming away from down there, we thought, look, we have it in the locker to keep them at bay. Right. You know, because other than those chances that they had, I can't remember having them, you know, any great opportunities that maybe they missed, or you know, that we let them in. Maybe there was, but there's none that really spring to mind. Bringing them back up the road, we thought, yeah, we have a chance. Surely we have a chance if we get a goal. Yeah, look, obviously with Kevin McHugh on the side, you know, there's always a chance of us scoring out of nothing as well. So, that was definitely in the back of our minds. But again, not trying to get too, just sticking to our game plan. Really, you know, yes, we can adapt to the conditions, and if we have to go long, we can go long. But you know, with the players that we had, I felt, no, we can play and we can do something here. You know, and I suppose the early goal was great. You know, Mickey Funston, I suppose, scored a goal that's not talked about whatsoever, because of BJ's winner.
I know, you know, it's such a crucial goal. Like, I mean, if he doesn't score it, obviously it goes without saying that there's no extra time, there's no glory.
Yeah, and that goal great as well makes great goal from a really tight angle.
Aye, and a great run by him as well.
And we just, I suppose that there then has made them really panic. You know, and after that there, I remember even the second half again, getting it to the big lad who was playing right side centre half, and I think he was taken off after 50 minutes or something like that there. So it just showed you that he was rattled, he was gone. Again, that physical presence from set pieces and things like that was gone. Yep. So we felt we were chipping away at it. But I remember thinking coming into extra time, then I thought, like, the legs are getting heavy here. You know, we would need to do something shortly to try and get ourselves out of it. No, and I remember they had Vinny Faherty up front, and I remember playing against him for years when he played for Galway, like, and he was one of those strikers. Like, he would hold it up well, but he wouldn't manufacture anything.
Yeah.
But if a ball broke or something like that, there, you know, or you didn't watch him, he was a goal scorer, a real poacher, like, and just, you know, over the years, he always seemed to come out on top. So to keep him quiet over the two legs and not have him score, like, was a real, you know, I was delighted about that there. I suppose then, obviously, we were thinking about penalties, and you're thinking, McHugh's off the pitch. There's your first penalty taker, and a certain goal. I don't think I've ever seen him miss one. Funsty's off the pitch, you know, an experienced player. You're talking another penalty taker. Harkin, again, another experienced player. What are you taking a penalty? Probably. Yeah. You know, so you're looking at the penalties, and you're looking at myself, maybe. Again,
you're probably.
I'll come back to it and flag this out. But I was thinking in the legs. I haven't got it in the legs to strike the ball, you know, with any at that time. So
the old legs will get heavier too in that walk up.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, jelly legs at that stage. But I just remember, obviously, you know, the ball, like, McNulty's crossed it in. It's come back to him again. It's kind of cleared away, and he's crossed it in again. And BJ's just taken the goal, like, an unbelievable header. Great ball. Great effort for a young lad.
Wasn't it? Because it's just fizzed in by D.
Oh,
he doesn't need much on it. Like, just get a touch in it and it flew.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant cross. And then through the rest, you know, the rest is history, like, as you say. And you've seen the lads, you know, the lads of, you know, McHugh and Funsty, who hadn't gotten the legs to
they were in the corner
to finish the game, were passing me out for the celebration. You know? So
it was unbelievable, like, you know,
unbelievable scenes. Like, and again, you know, just the last thing that we'll say maybe on this one, like, for those years of finishing 7th, finishing 8th, you know, how can we spoil the party for other teams, as we touched on before? To now we're up, like, and that, you know, that was such a great feeling, and to see what it meant to, you know, the players that I played with and the fans that have been there, you know. And I suppose when we're talking about fans, you know, I think it's as good a time as any maybe to mention, you know, a couple of the stalwarts, shall we say, that have passed away recently. You know, there's Seamus McKelvey, you know, who travelled length and breadth of the country, you know, to watch us. You know, Cork, Wexford, Waterford. You know, I remember being in Cove twice in a week. You know, because we played them.
Replay.
Yeah, played them in the replay. I had the replay on the Monday night, and then we're down again on the Friday.
Unreal.
You know, tremendous. You know, travelled everywhere. Was always there. Thumbs up. You know, clapping you off no matter how you did. You know, will be hugely missed.
As you touched upon about Seamus as well, like, he obviously went to every single, like, away match, and obviously when I was in the jobbies or having a spell out of the team, like, I obviously developed a relationship with him, because, like, there was him and Seamus Gallagher and a few of them would all travel together in the car. So, like, there were some away games, they were the only ones there, like, you know,
definitely, yeah,
the season, and you go down and chat them, and he'd give me a wee pep, like, you should be in the team for it, and blah blah blah. He was someone too. He was very sincere, and he had a great knowledge of football. He wouldn't be for, you know, just aimlessly, like, giving abuse or saying things.
Yeah,
you took what he had to say on board, because he was very knowledgeable, and he'd been working hard for 50, 60 years, and he was a great man, and, like, so he'll be sorely missed at the wall. And
definitely,
you know.
Yeah, definitely. And I suppose another man that's unfortunately not with us anymore was Frank Larkin. You know, who was as a
Liverpool fan as well, Cowan. Like,
yeah, definitely. But I always remember Frank. You know, he was always there coming off the pitch in Finn Park, and, you know, he would always be there for the high five, and, you know, was a great man, and was, you know, again, genuine. A couple of times that you didn't find yourself in the team if you were injured, suspended, or whatever, and, you know, we'd always been there, and, you know, you had a chat with them, and again, very knowledgeable about the league, and you know, will be sorely missed. You know, and another, it's just I suppose finally, Aidan Gallagher.
Yeah, I've seen that. I wouldn't have had a much of a relationship with him in terms of speaking to him much. I would have obviously seen him around the club, and I know he was a huge volunteer and stuff. But I don't know if you knew him a lot, but I certainly knew Seamus and Frank more than Aidan. But again, lovely tribute from the club in terms of the match programme and more than fit for the three lads.
Yeah, 100%. I was really hoping. I was glad they did something like that, and I knew they would. You know, it was great to a great tribute to them, and as you say, and just to reiterate, like they'll be sorely missed, and you know, great characters, and I just suppose we just a commiseration, I suppose, to their families and that as well. So so that's
echo what you say there, like, and I suppose just, you know, going back to Seamus as well, like he was one who you always like. You respected when he gave you a bit of praise, but it's kind of funny story with Seamus. Like I was up in the Curragh one night, and I was watching KG Rovers play, and he was heavily involved. That was his club, the Curragh, Seamus. Yeah. And there's a character called Packy Gallagher, right? He's from KG, like legend down in KG as a player, chairman, manager, be well known in football circles and Donegal. Yeah. He'd be a man known for like giving no credit at all to anybody, like no, right? He's a bit like my dad, and that like Liverpool won the Premier League, like, and they got beat 4-0 off City, and Dad's going, "Do you see Liverpool last week at City? Shite." I'm like, "League, 25 points, like, just nothing's ever good enough." Like Packy be chatting to me, and he'd be like, "I was up at Finn Park Forker last week, poor, very poor. You were poor. The whole team was poor." Right? So this is what he. We're up, I know, right in the Curragh one night, and Packy's there, and I'm there, and Seamus is there, and we're having a general chat and a bit of crack, and then out of nowhere, Seamus turns around and goes, "Hi, Packy, I enjoyed watching this man play up at Finn Harps. You know, I enjoyed watching him play. He was a lovely footballer, like, and he was serious, and I was loving this." And then Packy goes, "You know what? Pure serious. You know what, Seamus? There definitely was a lot worse up there. There definitely was a lot."
That's as much as you're getting.